What is going on, collective? Welcome back to my channel. It's your boy Adam Raw. Like, comment, share, subscribe. You know the deal. What is up, yo? So remember, I kept well, you know how I go. I always tell you guys about about the spell work and stuff that be going on, and energy manipulation and stalking and all that shit, right? So look, I'm gonna put you up on game. So today I'm heading right back to my hometown, and I know I got ops, and I know that they be watching and all of that stuff out here. You know what I mean? I know they be watching and plotting and pretending like they gonna do stuff. Even I'll put it like this: if my ops are listening, the people who's been doing spell work over my channel, over my job and all that other stuff, you know what I'm saying, or whoever ones I did spiritual warfare, I'm gonna put it like this: on some real shit, all the shit that you call yourself trying to do, it ain't working. You know what I'm saying? I'll be home for the next couple of days. You know where I live at, you know what I do. So I mean, hey, you call yourself want to scrap or whatever, instead of trying to put money on the motherfucking head, instead of call yourself trying to pay for spell work and all that other shit, why don't you just bring your ass on by? Bring your ass on by. We can handle this shit like men. You know what I mean? Handle that shit like a motherfucking man. But once I leave and your bitch ass don't show the fuck up, consider this shit over. It's squashed. Ain't nothing. You gonna do shit. You still gonna do your little spell work and shit because you ain't right in the head. I get that. But just know, from this day forward, after I leave, when I go home, when I leave from here, or when I leave home, where I'm at, and I'm out, just know you're gonna always be a bitch made ass motherfucker, and I'm gonna come back to this video and I'm gonna point it out to everybody. So you can't say that you didn't know I was home. You can't say that you didn't know, you didn't this, you didn't that. Only thing you can tell the motherfucker is that you were scared to go by. You were scared. That's the only thing that you'll ever be able to do. This is your chance as a man or as a woman to fight your own fucking battle in front of every fucking body. And if you don't do this shit, and if you don't bring your punk ass by and come to my house with the, you know what I'm saying? And no, I don't call the police. You could bring, if you gon', you know what I'm saying? I don't call the police. I'm down for the pound. You know what I'm saying? So you don't want to squash it, that's fine by me too. I'm not here to make you do anything. I'm just letting you know. I'm just letting you know. And you can't say that you didn't know. You didn't have time to know. Because the whole time that I was heading home, you was doing, you was paying people to do spiritual spell work and shit like that and trying to trigger me. That's just like now. You're still trying to trigger me to make it seem like I'm upset, I'm angry, like I'm threatening you, like so you can call the police and all of that. In my opinion, go ahead and call them. Get them together, call them. I don't give a damn. I don't give a shit. I'm just going to be upfront with you. So, collective, that is the real me. That's the real me. That's the real me. Like, I did my spiritual work and all that other stuff, and I'm going to cut this real short. But when it come down to, you want to fight or whatever, yeah, I'm spiritual or whatever, But that don't mean I ain't finna, fight, scrap, whatever. That don't mean that to me. I'm telling you, I'll whoop your ass or take an ass whooping and then go back and meditate about that shit. There's only two ways it's gonna happen. Either I'm gonna win or lose. Either way, either I'm gonna meditate about the shit. Either I'm gonna meditate about the shit or I'm gonna go to the fucking gym. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. I also was hearing some rumors about them trying to get somebody kidnapped. I had a dream that one of the dudes that lived down the street from me, the one that I said was molesting people or whatever, molesting kids. I never knew why I kept having a dream about him walking around my house, looking through my windows and stuff like that. But come to find out, it made sense because I had got a reading, and they were saying like somebody was trying to basically break into the house, kidnap somebody, and like rape them or something to give them an STD that they can't get rid of. So like I said, you know, regardless what the plan or the, you know, game plan is, I'll be at the crib. For real, for real. I'll be at the crib. My mama ain't raised no hoe. What your mama raised is on her. But I'll tell you what, I ain't telling them motherfuckers what to think, but I am gonna give you something to think about. You know what? Nah, I'm gonna leave it like that. I'm gonna leave it like that. All right, so let's pull some cards and see what is going on here. Cause like I said, I ain't go, you know, I'm doing my best not to feed into the energy and get all triggered and go ham and like, motherfucker, you know, I'll choke it. You know, so, you know, it's funny though. I still think it's funny. I think it's funny. But in the same breath, it's like this. This whole time, you wasn't for no games. For the last however long, you've been doing all kind of like death hits through spirituality, spiritual death hits and shit like that. Why don't you be a man or a woman for once? If you can't, just keep it like that. You can't. You can't. If you can't, then you just fucking can't. All right, let's see what's going on here. We got the Wheel of Fortune in reverse here. Wow, that's refusing to let go of the cycle here. That's exactly the energy that I was picking up on today too. Like a lot the other day I told you about that whatever that contract was yesterday, it was broken, right? So in order to try to keep it going, that's why you're going to have like people trying to trigger you to get you to keep fighting, keep trying to stay in your defenses, because as long as you're defensive, you're not letting people in, you're not letting love in, you're not taking a chance. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what this person or this group is trying to do. You know, if you're going through spiritual warfare, whoever you're up against wants you to be really defensive so that you'll be too scared to leave this cycle here. But this cycle is over with. You know what I'm saying? It's done. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got that Jupiter energy out here with Sagittarius and Pisces energy out here. That's somebody's trying to block your clarity, your mental clarity. So you're not thinking things through clearly, is what the energy is right here. Also, I was getting a vibe that somebody was trying to get something on you to either take it to a spiritual court against you, like what has been done against them. And they're also trying to probably call the authorities on you and say that you were threatening them or something like that. That's why I said, you know, I'm not gonna get into too much detail. I'll be at the crib. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, and see, that make it easy, because the thing is, like I said, I don't call the police. You know what I'm saying? I handle my shit right then and there. Whatever the outcome is just what the fucking outcome gonna be. You know what I'm saying? But in the same breath, you know, I ain't gonna be like, oh, I'm the most brolic person out here, and absolutely not. Absolutely not. But my thing is like this: instead of getting all these other souls involved, why don't you come fight your own battle one-on-one? You got people out here losing houses, cars, kids getting taken from them, getting locked up, people getting shot at, people getting killed, people having fights, all kind of people can't keep jobs, all this kind of shit. Because one motherfucker thought it was funny to try to fuck with somebody who don't fuck with nobody. I don't fuck with nobody. Like, I don't hang with nobody, really. I don't fuck with nobody in that sense. And also in the sense that I don't pick on people and I don't fucking bully them. If you know what I'm saying? If some shit like that happen, I ain't gonna, you know, make an excuse that it's all projected energy. But I am going to say that the only motherfuckers that I don't like is these fuck niggas who keep sending spiritual warfare shit to me. So, and I'm just gonna be upfront and honest. And right now, the motherfucker laughing, thinking that it's funny, thinking like, oh, but after I leave, you already know what's up. You already know what's up. You know what I'm saying? You already know what's up. And I ain't here to start no shit. I'm just here to finish this shit. So if you ain't up on that shit, okay, we're gonna leave it like that, and I'm gonna keep moving. Because 9 times out of 10, it's a bitch trying to get 2 niggas to fight over her when her pussy ain't worth it. Ain't even worth it. She got an STD. Why would I fight over a woman with an STD? You see what I'm saying? It's a whole group of people with STDs that's trying to get 2 people to fight, or trying to get a bunch of people to fight and keep chaos and hell going. But you got STDs. Like, don't nobody want you. You're already hard to want. Even if you do think that you look good, or if you do look good, you know what I'm saying? And that's okay. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, your energy is so funky because of the shit that you do, and don't nobody want you. So, you know, like I said, Wheel of Fortune, somebody trying to hold on to that cycle. Got the Seven of Pentacles out here in reverse. That right there has to do with somebody trying to block somebody's manifestation skills. So yes, they are trying to trigger you. They're trying to trigger me. Like, I don't know that. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's trying to bring death to the way your the things that you speak into existence in your love. They're trying to bring that shit to an end. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, cowards running pack. You want to save your money? You think that you can get some abundance from doing some shit? You want to apologize and make shit right? You know what's up. You know what's up. So yeah, that's that. Trying to block someone's manifestation energy here. And the Ten of Cups out here. Somebody is definitely not happy, so they're trying to keep somebody else from being happy is basically what's going on here. And they think that by stopping you from having the things that you want in life is really what's gonna, you know, stop you. But for those of you who are spiritual, who are sages or religious or whatever, you know that true bliss comes from within. Money, if you put your happiness in money, when you're broke, you're gonna be like these people here. That's, you could tell, like, I put it like this. When somebody is bitter, you can tell what their whole life is surrounded around, because they're going to keep complaining about the things that their life surrounded around. So if there's a bitter woman out here or a bitter man, and they keep complaining about somebody else having money or them not having money or opportunity and stuff like that, that comes from them putting their happiness on money. They think that money is what's going to make their lives the happiest. What happens when you have all the money in the world? What's going to make you happy then? Nothing. Because you have it all. And the same thing happens when you have nothing. Well, if you don't have any money at all, then what? You're bitter. So you're going to be bitter either way. It's just going to make you greedy and bitter. Greedy and bitter. That's what it's going to do. Because no matter how much money you get, it's never going to be enough. If your whole life is surrounded around who loves you or who's loyal to you or whose company you're in, that means your power is into the person who, you know, your power resides in the hands of those people whose company you need in order to make yourself feel like you're worthy. Because when those people feel like you shouldn't be worthy of something, they'll take their energy and their company away from you, and you're going to be feeling like shit. You can have the biggest house, all the cars, whatever you feel is the most extravagant and shit like that. But if your whole life is surrounded around people loving you and respecting you and things of that nature, when those people that you want respect from control your life now. People think that selling your soul is all about getting a favor from the devil, but it's not. There's a variety of things. The devil just writes checks. That's it. If your happiness resides in money, he'll give you that money just so you'll be happy, and he'll channel off your energy. And then when it's starting to fade away, it's not as potent as it is, he'll take what he gave you and start feeding off your energy of being miserable and take your soul on top of that. You know what I'm saying? That's just like with the artist industry. The industry, you know, like the music industry, it's the same thing. It's modeled. That's why they say that Satan was, you know, the head of the choir or whatever, right? So essentially, and this is a lot of industries, right? Basically, what happens? Somebody is, you know, get discovered. You got all these people who want to be discovered. They get discovered, right? Next thing they want to do is that they want to have a contract, right? They get they get an agent. They get a contract. That contract says that their image and everything affiliated with them belongs to that company, right? They basically sell themselves. So if it don't work out, you can't do a concert and have it sponsored by somebody else that they don't approve of. You see what I'm saying? You get that, they give you a check or whatever, they throw this money in your face. You take that $1 million or whatever, you take care of all your mom and dad and all the debt and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, you know, you buy these houses, you buy these cars, you buy this jewelry and stuff like that, right? Basically, in a nutshell, they finance you. They finance you. And just like all things that are financed, what happens when you can't produce what you say you're going to produce? Because you have to sell that next album. You have to be the next big thing. You got to go where they say go, do what they say do, eat what they say eat, make all these appearances and stuff like that. And if you fall short, voice your opinion, say anything, they could cut you off or whatever. You see what I'm saying? Once they cut you off, you ain't got enough money to pay for the house. The house could have been paid off in cash, right? But you still got to worry about them taxes. You got to understand, a lot of the jobs that's in America don't make enough to cover those taxes. That's why you got a lot of artists that lose their shit to taxes. You got to have other investments and stuff where your image isn't behind what you pay for. You see what I'm saying? Because if you use your image in any kind of way and you know, you flop and the record label drop you or whatever it may be, you can't use your image to get money. That's why you see a lot of one-hit wonders and a lot of people that once they fall off, you never hear from them again. That's the same energy here. Somebody's they're trying to find out where your 10 of cups reside. You see what I'm saying? Because once they find out, they're going to try to use that to block you and keep you in a cycle. That's the energy that's out here. This is industry-minded people. These are really easy people to defeat. Because the thing is that if you did the inner work and you fought with your demons, the only thing they can do is find a demon that you have and put you against that demon. But you conquered that demon already. Or made friends with that demon already. And again, guess what? There's no real battle. You just repeat, you know, it's like repeating the lesson. You redo what you did to defeat the demon in the beginning, and guess what? It's over. Back to the drawing board. The people who've been sending me all this energy and stuff, been sending me their demons. I've conquered them because I've conquered my demons. I've conquered all my demons. They're looking for demons within me to bring up. They're bringing multiple demons up. Multiple things from the past, multiple things from the future, multiple things to be anxious about, multiple things to be depressed about. And now they're trying to dump their demons on top of me to see how I handle it. So then they go and try to imitate what I do to try to fix their lives instead of just asking, how do I fix my life? How can I make it better? What's so hard about that? You're 40 fucking years old. Why not just ask one question? How can I make my life better? How can I manifest like you? How can I do this? How can I get the favor of God? How can I create things the way that I want to create it? Was I ever asked a single question? No. I was never asked a question. This whole spiritual warfare is because somebody wanted to know how I did something without asking a question. Too prideful to ask a question. There's very few people that I've come across in life that I didn't answer their questions. You see what I'm saying? Now look at what you're losing. And even in your life, look at what they're giving up, they're sacrificing and losing. Some wanted to be in love with you. Some wanted to just be friends with you. Some wanted friends with benefits. Some just wanted to be next to you. Some just like knowing you. Some just like what you are capable of. Some didn't like you at all until they warmed up to you. But it all boiled down to this. Regardless what the interest is, it was something that was solvable, something insignificant. It's insignificant. And no matter how much I say it's insignificant, the idiots are still going to fight for that cause. They're still going to fight for it. That's why you have the 5 of Swords out here. This has to do with a mind game. Somebody's getting ready to play a new mind game, okay? You're giving the energy of 33, which is to retreat from whatever this mind game is, okay? That's exactly the energy that I got when, like just a second ago when I you know, put that PSA out, that message or whatever. My answer is like, no, just retreat from it. But my thing is like this. And I know I ain't the most brolic person. And to be honest with you, you know, I'm just going to be, you know, I'm being as real as I could be. You can't be relatable to people unless you're real. And I'm just being upfront and honest to them. You know, my light and my dark side combined together, it just says, you know, bring your ass on through. Just bring your ass on through. You ain't got to say shit. If you're going to do spell work up to today, whatever you're going to do that. But once you get there, you call yourself apologizing or whatever. If you apologize, that's it. I don't want to hear shit else from it. Stay the fuck out of my energy and leave me the fuck alone. Right? If you there for war, let's get this shit done and let's get it over with. Right? If you can't do neither of those as a man or as a woman or as a leader, that's not a reflection on me. That's not a reflection on me. And no matter who you recruit, from this day forward, they're going to know about this video. They're going to know about it. They going to know. So it ain't no point of putting cheese on people's head. You could come do that shit yourself. Come do it yourself. You know what I'm saying? Do it yourself. Record and all. You want it done that fucking bad? Do it yourself. Why ask somebody to do some shit you scared to do yourself? Look at all the people that lives are ruined because you asked somebody or you were paying people to do things you can't do. And then you get upset because it wasn't done the way you wanted it done. That's because if you do it yourself, you'll do it the way you envisioned doing it to begin with. You see what I'm saying? Okay. We got the Nine of Swords energy out here. This is what's going to balance everything out. What's balancing this out, or what they consider to balance this out right here, like I said, they're trying to keep you trapped. They're trying to keep you stuck. They're trying to keep you in this reoccurring cycle here, right? They're trying to block your manifestation of happiness in this lifetime and all that other stuff. 24 is return. 24 has to do with the energy of returning back to your peace, returning back to your calmness, returning back to your center. That's right here, right? That's what the universe is influencing you towards. Like influence and consequence. Yes, that's what they're influencing you towards. Or this is the consequence. Yeah, it's influence. That's what they're influencing you towards. The consequence here is 49 in reverse here, right? 49 in reverse has to do with a new order being established. Okay? So just return back to your peace and a new order will be established. Out here, you got, like I say, with this Five of Swords, them trying to play another mind game or deception and stuff like that. That's still the energy of them not coming to you directly. This is going to be another mind game, another spell work involving smoke. This is a smoke spell here to affect your mind, illusions, and things of that nature. This has to do with incense, smoke, the burning of burning certain things. This has to do with the air. Somebody's going to try to use some kind of air magic to try to conflict you in some way, shape, or form. This might be an Aquarius. This is a fixed sign versus the con. Let me see never mind. I'm going to leave it like that. Yeah. This person could be an investigator, strategist. This probably could be the mastermind behind the whole thing. Right? Next, we got the Nine of Swords out here, right? This Nine of Swords energy out here has to do with the air sign out here. So this is all air sign energy out here. You got Aquarius out here twice. You got Gemini and Libra out here. This, with the number 37, this could be a family situation here. This could be a family of people with mental disorders, prostitutes, and night workers. All these people are conflicted in their head, whether it's a cult or a family or a group. Okay? This is the Nine of Swords. They're up, they're worried, they're stressed about something, right? You got Kokov and you got Noga out here. With Kokov and Noga, that's the energy of their minds being disrupted with the Nine of Sword energy out here. And thus, it's disrupting their heart space. Okay? So it's mental and emotional disruption here. So whoever it is that's doing the spell work, they have mental disorders and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? They already have mental disorders. Now, if you got a mental disorder and you're playing around with spirits and stuff and they're latching themselves onto you and controlling you, there's no way for you to protect yourself. And that's because what happens is you have a spiritual ailment. You have a spiritual disease, which originates from like being bipolar, schizophrenic, OCD, or whatever. That's already a spiritual disorder. Okay? A spiritual disease doesn't mean it's an infection. It's dis-ease. It's the thing that's keeping you from your balance and harmony, right? Now, when you're trying to get to your harmony, you got a energy, a demonic force, or an entity that you're playing with, redirecting the energy that you would be using to bring yourself back into balance, guess what? It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. And it's not that entity's fault. It's your fault for calling on to something that you don't know shit about. You got the Six of Swords out here. Yes, this is you being, this person, whoever this is, or these people that's been trying to do these mind games and stuff like that, they're stuck. That's what this is all about. They're stuck. They had the opportunity to get away. I don't know if you did what I did, but I did forgive these people. And I told them that I had forgave them. And that and I walked away. I had been sending them love and light for over 3 years. I had took spiritual baths in the stead of these people. I knew they were attached to my energy, and I had reached out to God and I said, look, I know these people ain't right. I'm asking you to not only cleanse my energy, but this person's energy too, because you know what I'm saying? And I did that for 3 years, it was the first 2 years. It was, the first year, it was a little rough, but after that first year, it was like that second and third year that I was going through this. Possibly even a fourth year. No, the third year. Because the end of the third, the fourth, and the fifth year, I decided to just fight that shit back. Yep. That Six of Sword energy and the death slot, they were given multiple ways to get out of this situation with 34. 34 is their abundance. That's what this is. This is their great possession, their abundance. This is what is it's in their lineage. Their lineage has a treasury. Basically, all the people that was there before them, they built up good karma, and the karma they didn't cash in life generally goes into this treasury, so in death. So it's like a spiritual or ancestral trust fund. They have one. They had one. You see what I'm saying? But because they didn't leave when they were supposed to leave, somehow somebody depleted all of that, all the entire trust. Somebody depleted their spiritual trust. Yeah. That's not good. That's not good. That's not a good energy to be in. That's definitely not a good energy. Imagine like you being like, I don't know, the 10th generation of a bloodline. You know what I'm saying? And everybody else was like upstanding people and all this other shit. They done all kind of charity work. They did spiritual work for people, to heal people, help people, get people out of shit. And their gods, their deities, or whoever were very pleased with them. And then here comes the daughter or the son who has been spiritually attacking innocent people. And 10 generations of blessings going down the drain. All because they're obligated to do it because they signed a contract with the entity to do it. Now they can't get out of it because they're afraid to face the demon, but they're also afraid to stop doing what they've been doing. I didn't create this problem. This is a problem they created for themselves. This entity used them and is laughing at them right now because they're in a conflicted space. That entity, a couple of videos ago, I told you that God and the devil had a meeting, right? I'm pretty sure this is what it was about. The devil probably let him know about the contract, and God was like, you know what? I think we're going to have to let them sign it. You're going to have to. I got someone special for that person, right? So here they come, they send me. Like, they could have been praying to God for somebody to heal them, help them, fix them, whatever. God sends me, and then they go and make a deal with the devil, right? And so God and the devil meet, and they're like, okay, so this is the situation, blah, 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 blah. And God is like, you know what? I'll have to allow it. I need to test my servant to see if he's going to stay true. But also, I need to see how dark their hearts is and what, what's going on with them. And God, and then he had to, whatever they come into contact with, it played out like this. That God told that demon or devil or whoever they reached the contract with that if there was limitations that they cannot cross. Okay. Just like with Job, okay, right? Okay. So that energy went and laughed all the way to the bank. You know why? Because he used the light to get these people to do dark shit so he could take all the shit back that he promised them and some. You see what I'm saying? He knew they couldn't. The caliber of person that was sent, the light worker that was sent or assigned to the situation was too powerful even for all those who were trying to do the work. He knew that. He knew what the outcome would be. So he told them, if you can do it, go ahead. Or he convinced them, whispered in their ear, yeah, that person. That one. You see what I'm saying? That one. Whatever told them to do it, it knew that they could not accomplish this. It gave them the, it boosted up their ego at first. The first couple of people or whoever, it was working, everything was going good and everything like that, which is like with all dark work when you're working with dark entities. It goes well the first year, 10 years, 15 years. But this is the reason why a lot of dark witches convert to Christianity, like I was telling you in that other video. Right now, the people who's been projecting work towards me are starting to convert to Christianity, like I said in those other videos, because they come across a light worker that they cannot defeat. That's what happens. That's what happens. It's a cyclical circle. God used that darker energy to refine the light. This ain't the first time that God used a dark energy. God used the dark energy to get at King Ahab when it came to Jezebel. He told that dark energy, gave those card readers the wrong advice, or misinformed them, or even gave them limited information about if he would win and once he go to war with this other tribe or whatever it may be. All of them were saying, yeah, you could do it, you can win, you can win, you can win, just like this dark energy was telling them before they did this spiritual attack. You could win, you can win, you could do it, you could do it, you could do it. That was to get them to keep coming back for more power, keep going back to his dark workers to pay for more and more spell work. The same wealth that entity gave them, they spent it up paying dark workers to try to perform something that was deemed impossible, which means he got the money back, and he got it back through those workers. Those workers knew. Those workers were dumping their karma on these people. They were imprinting them with their energies. If they were having sex for spell work and stuff like that, that was a way for them to imprint their energy onto that person and take all their karma off of them and place it on that person that they were doing the spell work for. And these people did not know that. They're not savvy about spiritual work and how it works. They don't know about the general rules. They don't know the limit. They don't know the general rules about spell work. And now they want me to calm down and talk to them like they're fucking kids. You fucked up, basically. You're a dipshit and you fucked up. You fucked up not just for you, but for your kids and your whole lineage. Look at that. Look at that. I don't know if this is gonna affect. And look at this. This is what their bloodline entails. Okay, I'm gonna tell you what's the gifts or the special energy that was assigned to this bloodline. It has to do with being excelling in sciences, excelling in flight, excelling in piloting, excelling in driving and travel jobs and problem solving and ship work. This is a family of people who in the world were supposed to be living not just their best life, but doing the jobs that were unique. Like they were pilots. They were like, dealing with travel, a lot of travel, being free. Everybody don't have a job where they're free to travel. Everybody don't have that. Everybody can't say, oh, I drive for a living. A lot of people say, and even if they do, I'll just say most people don't. I mean, I know that we have Uber and we have, whatever. Those are new. But back in the day, we didn't have that. Imagine being a fighter pilot or an airplane pilot back in the day. You know what I'm saying? And then having a science bloodline. The science bloodline means that you have a way of thinking outside the box with this problem solving bloodline. All of that is ruined. All of that is it's over. With Aquarius and Gemini energy here, that Gemini energy has to do with communicating, and Aquarius has to do about freeing energy. So it was basically the energy of thinking outside the box, or freeing ourselves from what we believe to be true and recreating it in our own images. You see what I'm saying? You threw that away. The things that I know now, some of these people would have been known, but they threw that shit away. Six of Swords energy out here. Yeah, they can't get out of whatever they created. They can't get out of it. It's like, whether it's a contract or whatever it is, they're not getting out of that. And I know the Six of Swords is in the upright, which means getting away. But because it's in the death slot, guess what? It means that they want to get away and they can. They can't end what they created. That's the mark of a genius there. That's the dark side of being a problem solver and a scientist, or someone who experiments with things. Eventually you create a problem that you yourself cannot solve. That is one of the questions that people asked about God. Can God create a rock that he cannot carry? You see what I'm saying? If there is a God, can he create a rock that he cannot carry? Essentially, the paradox ends, well, it was either, regardless if he can or can't, it was just to prove that God isn't all powerful, right? Because if he can create a rock that he can't carry, he's not all powerful where he can carry that rock. And if he can lift the rock, then he wasn't powerful enough to create a rock he couldn't create. I mean, he couldn't carry. So it was a catch-22, a paradox. So yeah, somebody definitely got caught up in the paradox paradigm here. They fucked themselves up. I don't know why I just flipped this over here, but you got the Two of Pentacle energy here. This has to do about balance. Them trying to balance something out. Something that they tried to bring a death to, they're trying to balance it out right now. With the 44 energy, that's compulsion. That's that energy I was telling you about when it came to that person who kept doing the spell work. This could be a Capricorn. You know what I'm saying? Although this is the Two of Pentacles, it has to do with professions involving, let's see, literary, talents, tactics is what I just saw. Multitasking, gaming, gambling, entertainer, performer, receptionist. These are, generally these jobs have to do with using of the mind, entertaining people, being seen, being known, fame of some sort, right? They abuse that with the 44 out here. That 44 energy has to do with compulsion. That's the same thing that I was talking about earlier. Whoever this person is, they were trying to convince people or pay people to do something that they themselves could not do. They were calling orders. They were ordering people to do things that they can't do themselves. If you can't do something, why would you have somebody else do something you can't do? I can understand if it's like in a certain profession or whatever, but that right there is a narcissistic energy. Because if it don't go the way you envisioned it going, guess what? You're not only mad at the person that it didn't work on, but you're also upset with the person who tried to do it. That's twice the anger. Or you put that person in a fucked up position. You see what I'm saying? Who would want to be in a position where what they're getting, the energy backfired on them and their lives, on top of someone barking orders at them and calling them, you know, idiots and trying to make them do shit they wouldn't ordinarily do. That's why when I team up with people, one thing I had to learn is, like, I have to let people run amok. I don't try to control people, and that's for a reason. It's because if me trying to control you, or like say in a group setting, me trying to control you limits my power, because I won't be able to recognize your own human potential. You may excel at something that I don't know, and I may excel at something you don't know. But assuming I'm an idiot and giving me orders will only make me stay in your parameter. The more I'm outside of your parameter or your paradigm, the more you get to see my talent and what I'm capable of. You see what I'm saying? That's why I don't try to control people. I don't try to control my spiritual team or anything like that. I let them do what they see, do as they see fit. I'm not, you know, I've been in that lifestyle. I'm not saying that I never did that, because I have been controlling before. I have been. Is that something that, but the thing is that I had to learn, like, no. It's better if I allow these things to come into fruition. It's better if I allow the potential, the highest potential of these people to come out into fruition. You know? That's my opinion. Next, you got the Ten of Swords out here, right? So this is what's actively happening right now. Because of all this shit that's been going on, them trying to attack you and all that other stuff. And notice there's a lot of sword energy out here, which is a lot of mind games, right? Oh, this is the energy of being betrayed or backstabbed or betrayed. This could come from somebody who's an acupuncturist, a disability carer, a funeral director, somebody who's into forensic pathology, possibly even a professor of, let's say, like a doctor of some sort, CNA, somebody who knows a lot about forensics and pathology, right? But essentially what I'm seeing here is that somebody is going to get, somebody's getting backstabbed, or there's some betrayal energy here. There's definitely some opposition here. So in this group, there's some people that agree with the way that things is going, and then there's others who disagree. Because it's like I said, when you're in a group, there's going to be multiple opinions about things. And this is just like what I was saying earlier about the law of human nature, that book. It was talking about when there's a narcissist and people disagree with that narcissist, what happens is it creates clans. People start grouping up based off of their own opinion of how the group as a whole should go. You see what I'm saying? That's why, you know, I try not to limit too many people, you know. And the thing about a group is that one person's decision affects the entire group. So if they're, you know, it's just like the RICO Act. So if they're a spiritual team and, you know, you tell them to run amok or whatever you want to do or whatever, right? Just know that you have to be willing to accept the consequences of anything that they do as a missed opportunity, a loss, a lack, whatever it may be. That's why I'm selective about who I team up with. Just because you're available to team up don't mean, and you think a certain way, which I'm not going to limit your human potential, but if the shit don't add up, you're thinking one way and I'm thinking something else, and I know it could be a conflict of interest, or I know that it's not going to work that well for me, then why would I team up with you? These are people I wouldn't team up with. It's not because of the spiritual spell work and the dark energy that's being sent. It's because I know that I think for myself. These are people who need to be told how to think. I didn't realize that. I always heard that there was a deficit of leaders in this world, but now I see why. Because a lot of people can't face their demons, and those who can are afraid to face them. So they look for guidance from those who are confident enough to either overlook their demons, conquer their demons, or make them feel like they don't have demons at all. In groups, I'm still learning about groups, but most groups, they form around the demons that they share in common. And you know what that means? It re-solidifies what I said before. Demons and spirits are communal, whether it's good or bad. We join ourselves together based on the demons and the things that we share. Our morals or value, we have to share something in common. This group is probably trying to hold themselves together based off that narcissistic energy. If they're all narcissists, who's truly the leader? Because once shit isn't going somebody's way, they all fraction off. Is it the fear of being alone that got them all together? Is it just sex? Is it the fact that they all have STDs? Is it the fact that they're all cheaters? Is it the fact that they all have childhood trauma? Is it the fact that they all have disabilities? Is it the fact that they're all losing shit? Is it the fact that they all have white tennis shoes? Is it the fact that they're all black? Is it the fact that they're all stink? Is it all the fact that they all drive cars? What is it? There's something that keeps them together. And one of those pieces of glue is betraying you. And that's what's actively going on right now. That betrayal energy. The energy of the group has been betrayal and betray you, or blackmail, right? So either there's blackmail inside of the group or blackmail heading towards the group one way or another. And I know that they're looking at me because I'm the only reader that they trust. It's foolish to be to trust your enemies to give you information. That's foolish. But that right there let you know that your enemies respect you. My enemies respect me because I tell them the truth, whether they want to hear it or fucking not. You see what I'm saying? That's why a lot of them come to my readings and play in my energy to try to get readings, because they're afraid and they're looking for comfort from the fucked up shit that they did and trying to find guidance on how to fix it, instead of just being upfront and say, look, I don't normally do this. I prefer that you don't tell anybody, but I definitely could use some of your guidance. I got a situation like this. I'm not going to force you to take the information. If you need to vent, you should have just came to me. But some people are so prideful, or there was so many people at a time. I'll put it like this. In my circumstance situation, people don't want to seem weak. Being considered weak or having emotions in a narcissistic society or a group of narcissists means that they'll feed on you and they'll use that against you. If they knew somebody had feelings towards me in that group, they were going to try to manipulate or do shit to me to try to manipulate that person's emotions. It would have turned what they love into an obligation or a liability. You see what I'm saying? That's why I wouldn't affiliate with them at all, because the energy of the group itself is to snuff out the energy of being able to think for myself. It's a militant energy where you do what you're told. Military shit. Do what you're told. That's why we have 5 of Swords up here, putting emphasis on the army up here. Did that show up more than once? We had the army up here. Let me see here. I thought it showed up more than once. I'm not sure. I'll have to look through it or whatever after I'm done or whatever. But yeah, no, you don't just team up with other people. You got the world card out here. The world card out here has to do with the cycle right here. Somebody's trying to create a new cycle. Yeah. And you know what? I said Wheel of Fortune in the beginning, but maybe that came out right about somebody trying to keep a cycle going, or trying to create a cycle of misfortune for you, or bad karma for you. Maybe that's what it is. They're trying to hold on to a cycle to keep you in a negative way, to try to block your manifestations and your money and stuff like that, so that you will stay stuck in some kind of mind state, so that you can't manifest. And that's what this new cycle is going to be about. It's about yeah, I see the government out here again. A government and or Congress has to do with, people governing a group. This has to do with Capricorn Aquarius energy all over again. A male and a female, a positive masculine and negative and feminine. This has to do with Earth, Saturn, learning a lesson. That's crazy, man. Governing a natural resources, so these people could own certain resources that other people need. They could be like weed dealers or drug dealers or something like that, and they have access to resources that the rest of the group need or that they want. So they do what these people say. You know what I'm saying? But either way, there's a new cycle coming in, and this whole cycle is going to teach them nothing but lessons here. It's a whole new cycle of lessons that's coming in here. Saturn is getting ready to test them to see if they learned the lesson or not. Once they learn the lesson or whatever it may be, and they prove it, and they pass those tests and stuff like that, they may be able to release themselves from it. But there's going to be a series of tests here, and these tests could go on for a long time, because of what they put out. Like for the longest, put it like this, basically you get what you put out, right? Now imagine, if you will, somebody who keeps sending these karmic lessons to you, or being this Saturn energy in your life, restricting you and trying to make everything hard for you your whole life, right? And you start learning all these lessons from the restrictions they keep putting on you. You're learning all these lessons. Wow. And then you're not seeing anything too much from it, but you're learning all these lessons, right? Well, the energy that I was getting was that somebody was restricting your Jupiter from rewarding you, because Saturn rewards you just like Jupiter rewards you. Okay? Saturn rewards you after you learn a lesson about something. Jupiter allows you to expand. Okay? So somebody has been using the Saturn energy to keep restricting you, which means you've been going through all these harsh lessons and stuff like that, and you wasn't getting the rewards you deserved for going through all these lessons. Let's say it was like 10 years of lessons compacted into the last, let's say 3 or 4 years you've been going through spiritual warfare. If you passed all those 10 lessons, you passed their lessons they were supposed to learn, you passed lessons you would learn, you learned new things, you applied new things, you kept transforming and rebuilding yourself and things like that, but you wasn't getting a reward. Well, guess what? There's a new cycle that's coming in. It's the karma. You know what that karma means? They created a hell that they won't be able to escape from, because like I said, with the Six of Swords energy up here, they were trying to keep you stuck in that cycle. They wanted you to keep going around in a circular cycle. That energy got out eventually. It eventually got out, and guess what? As soon as it got out, which, you know, because it gets out because you put that energy out there, right? In order for it to work. Whether it's through jar magic or whatever it may be, smoke, fire, water, spirit, voice, whatever, right? Light, sound, whatever, right? So essentially what happened is these people created a hell for themselves on earth. People are saying that it's going to be a long cycle, but from what I'm seeing, these people are going to die in this cycle. I don't see them making it past the cycle. Because the thing is like, you know, you went through, let's say if you went through it for a year, and basically this is the energy of a backfire, first of all, right? This is the energy of karma, which is a backfire of a spell or spell work, right? The spell work they created was to keep you on a hamster wheel, to keep repeating something over and over and over again until you found a way out. And once you found a way out, someone created a whole nother cycle for you to go back in that cycle all over again, and that was going to lead you back into the cycle you were in. You see what I'm saying? So you break out of that first one again, then you recognize the second one. If you recognize the second one, if you didn't, that second one sent you right back. Now imagine if there's 9 of them. You break one, you get to the next cycle, you break that, you get to the next one, you break that, you get all the way to 9. And the trick with number 9 is if you break it, you start back over at 1 again. That's what happened here. That was what it was. Someone made it where, whether it backfire or you made it through or not, you're going to go back into that cycle no matter what. Now, God is blessing it where they got the opportunity or the chance to reveal to you the secret of how to get out of this cycle by putting them in that cycle. It's their turn. And you know one thing about people is that when they fight, they do things. When it comes to strategists or fighters and things like that, generally they do things to you. If somebody could do something to you without consequence, they're going to do to you what they're afraid of happening to them the most. Now imagine a never-ending cycle of being exposed to your fears. And once you get over that fear, a new fear emerges. And sometimes multiple fears come in at once. And then you have to be tested on those new fears and those old fears. It's a lot of terrifying energy here. Somebody truly created a hell for themselves and others. Not just themselves, but everybody. Everybody in this cult, family, or whatever has been sold. The leader, which probably be in like the third, one of the higher circles of hell, for leading souls to their damnation. They think that they're going to be elevated, because you know they say if you're going to go to hell, you might as well be the strongest demon down there. But the truth is that if you were really that strong, you wouldn't have used these people the way that you did. You know, that's why it's necessary for me to do and say what I had said earlier. This is your chance to rise up like a leader and face me like a man. If you can't do that, consider this shit over. Everything backfires. Everything returned to sender. I'm out the cycle. You're trapped in that cycle for all eternity. Abundance, everything goes. So either you're going to fight, either you'll come through, or you go ask for forgiveness and squash the whole thing, or we finna fight. And trust me, the way I envision fighting you, you're not going to get away from it. You're never going to fuck with me ever again. You will never fuck with me ever again. You and anybody else in that cult, that family, or whatever you say that you call yourself being a part of, you will never fuck with me again. I guarantee you that. And anybody else that you call yourself thinking that you're going to bully, I guarantee you, you will never fuck with anybody that you think is weaker than you ever fucking again. I'm not going to be all loving like that day. Yes, I am going to resort to my darker side. I don't care who you bring. I don't care what scheme you got. Bring your ass. If you can't, that's on you. I understand. You got the Queen of Wands out here, right? With the Queen of Wands energy out here, you got Aries, Mars. This is a female energy. Generally, it's not just a female energy. It's like a feminine energy generally. There's a difference between female and feminine energy. A feminine energy is an energy that is receptive. A receptive energy is an energy that governs or has power but doesn't exert it like a masculine. A masculine is upfront about what they do, in a sense, right? A feminine energy is more like a suggestive energy, suggesting to people what they want done and having it done. This Queen of Wands energy here has to do with the heart energy that they got, the love or whatever. This right here is letting you know that, and look, see, that was an energy shift right there. Somebody was trying to get me to, lighten up and talk to them like they're a fucking kid. I'm not finna talk to you like no fucking kid, and I stand on my word. I'm standing on my word. You got the Queen of Wands out here with 13 out here. This has to do with somebody who was trying to move up the social circle status. They were trying to be a teacher, a leader, an entrepreneur. In the heart, that's what they are. A teacher, a leader, and an entrepreneur, right? First house, this is how they define themselves. Where they are in a social circle is what dictate how they feel about themselves. And this is the heart of the matter right here. This has to be governed by Madim. Madim is the way that this masculine energy has to do with how they make moves, how they actually move, or their actual masculine energy, how they think and strategize, right? This person can't strategize outside of a circle. Why? Because their whole existence is derived in teaching, leading, and entrepreneur. They have to be the ones in charge in some way, shape, or form, or teaching other people, so because it makes them feel good about themselves. Now, this is the heart of the matter right here. Okay? This is the heart of the matter. The heart of the matter is that you're a Queen of Wands. You get what you want by being, you don't, like I was saying before, it's the energy of like not having to force your way with the Queen of Wands out here, because it's a feminine energy. You get things done by asking people, suggesting people to do things. You know what I'm saying? It's that warm energy. It gets done and you do things too, but you don't have to be forceful when you do what you do. That is how you moved up the cycle, the social circle. That's why people see you as a teacher, a leader, or entrepreneur, right? The house, with water. They see that you're nourishing. You're like a water to most people that you come to. You're like a water, a refreshing well. Your character, the way you carry yourself, the way you think, the way things you believe is refreshing to other people, and it heals their heart energy, right? This is the East. In the East, all things began, right? They saw who you were. Once they saw who you were and what your heart was in, what was in your heart and stuff like that, these people in their heart of hearts, they want to be a teacher, a leader, an entrepreneur. They want to move up a cycle, a circle, just like you did. And, that's that imitating energy. So, yeah, at the heart of the matter, that's what it's all about. You being a teacher and a leader, and they're not. Next, you got the Four of Cups out here, right? The Four of Cups has to do with them holding on to something. Like I said, I get the vibe that they're holding on to a grudge, or they're still caught themselves trying to watch you. Because the thing is like you with the Four of Cups, you got the 3 cups in the out. You got 3 cups in front and 1 cup being offered to you. That's that cup of that was the cup that was offered to them for forgiveness. That's why you have let me see. Yeah, the cup of forgiveness. That's what it is. That Pinkins is supposed to be there, but that has to do with Noga. That came from the heart. Look at that. They're watching. They're still watching you. Administration work, assistant, barista, waiter, carer, counselor, broadcaster. You know what I'm saying? Somebody is like watching you. I don't know if their intuition is telling them to watch you, but they're watching you. Instead of taking action on this, yeah, they've been watching you. And then you got 18 out here repairing the damage. Somebody want to set right what their father has screwed up. They want to set right what was fucked up in the past. That's the truth of the matter, whether the rest of the group members agree or not. So, I don't know. Good luck with that, because the way I feel about it, if you're really apologetic, stay the fuck out my energy. I don't fuck with you. Stay the fuck out my energy. All right. That's all I got for you guys today. You know, watch out. Take it easy. Be careful. You know, and maybe your situation, I don't know how yours is going to turn out. I'll let you know how mine turn out. If I need bail money, I'm definitely going to get up on here. I'm going to do a live, and I'm going to let y'all know I need bail money. But overall, yeah, I'll catch up with y'all later. Get y'all some rest. Be easy. Peace.